I'm joined by David Morgan at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. So David, I want to ask you, what got you into silver in the first place?
Oh, I learned about the monetary system at a very early age. And I was 11 years old when the coinage went from silver to Johnson slugs. I call it 1965. So I was very curious about money from an early age. Don't ask me why, I just was. And I followed the gold market pretty much through the first bull market. I knew a little bit about silver, but when silver outperformed gold by such a substantial margin, and I followed the Hunt story, I wanted to know why did they choose silver over gold, and that's kind of started my quest on the silver trail.
Really good. Now, this year, what is the market looking like for gold and for silver?
Better than last year. I think we're going to get somewhat of a repeat. I think it'll be a good year, but not a fantastic year. Time will tell. So I think it's the place to be for part of your portfolio, like I've always emphasized. But I think the big years are going to be 2018 onward. And what a lot of people don't realize is how the system is set up for seed financing and first round financings. And these are kind of an insider group. So what my emphasis was is that these people aren't necessarily smarter or better investors than you are. It's that they have an advantage that you don't have. And there are certain restrictions set up by the exchanges of how much you can invest and how long you have to hold these stocks, but it's very much of an advantage. So I go through that. And then at the end, I explain that once in a while there'll be special situations, which we happen to have in the Morgan report, that has a window of opportunity till about the end of February, that if you own one of our speculations, you will be able to receive 1 share for every 10 shares you own of the parent company. So basically you're getting free shares by owning the parent company, and it is highly speculative and it is forward-looking, so I have to state that, and I have to say I'm biased because I own it. But it's very rare, so I wanted people to know that these opportunities don't happen very often. It's kind of their chance to get in on something that is below ground floor, so to speak, sort of like a seed round type of financing.
Interesting. Now, you just mentioned that there are some common mistakes that any retail can make when investing in gold or silver. What are some advices that you can give for any investor here?
Well, I think the first thing to do is Google the 10 rules of silver investing. And that says, no matter how good the story is or how enticing an investment is, don't go too far into it. I recommended from the very start 10% of your total portfolio should be in precious metals. I went as high as 20% later on in a conference like this in San Francisco years ago. And so that's one thing I've gotten, fairly good amount of consultations over the years. And, pretty much most of my subscribers own their own businesses. They're fairly high net worth people and pretty savvy investors. I said, geez, I wish I wouldn't have gone so far into the silver market, because when it's moving up, you can't bet enough. Right. But when it's moving down, you bet too much. So it's that balance.
Talk to us about the Morgan report. How can we get to know more about it?
Well, the first thing to do is get on our free email list. Go to themorganreport.com and give us a first name and a primary email address. And we'll give you a lot of free information on a weekly basis. And then if you want to go further, you can join us, because our success is your success. And we work very hard to do research that not many in this field actually do. We were leaders in the rare earth element field, for an example. I'm not the original gold bug. I'm not as old as Jimmy Dines, but I'll bet him on age. I probably was more interested in sound money at an earlier age than he was. I don't know if that's a fact. But come on board, get on the free list, and judge from that point.
All right. Well, David, thank you for your time here.
Thank you so much for having me.
To know more from experts like David, make sure you watch our videos on SmallCapPower.com.